Bill Guest, and he lives on Tanglewood.
Right.
Sam White on Driftwood. Sam Manier on Woodridge. The Denaries on Pebble Creek. And Betty and Vern, sir, on Woodridge. So we have one from each street, 2 from Woodridge and 1 from each street. I think there may be only a couple more. Helen Lightbody.
She won't be here.
And
I heard she was sick.
yeah, I think so. And I called a bunch more, and let me name their names, but they're actually not original owners, but they moved in real soon to being original owners. Lucille Frey, F-R-E-Y, Fry, who lives right back here. Howland Ethel Johnson, Cornelia Gooch, they both live on Driftwood. And Helen Standridge, and Tanglewood. Yeah,
Right, she's the
Tanglewood.
second house in.
And I think I mentioned Sybil. And Cliff and Gail Fry, who are the 2-story house right at the beginning. And I think all of those people, and y'all are the originals.
How about Jackie Burke? Wasn't she an original owner?
Where I don't even have her in the directory, I don't believe.
Chuck Harvey, next to Esther.
Is Chuck Harvey original?
Yeah, I think he's original.
Yeah, because I thought all these were original, and every one of them said, "Oh no, we moved in like 1 or 2 years later."
I'm cheating
So-
a little bit there, Marshall.
I don't know. He might have been watching.
Actually, I bought the house from a guy who had bought it named Thompson. And before they could ever move in, he was transferred to Pennsylvania. And the company he worked for agreed to pay for whatever loss he took on selling his house. So I got a pretty good buy when I bought it. But they had just moved in a few of their, they hadn't finished moving. They hadn't really moved in there at the time. So they had to leave in a hurry, and I bought it in a hurry. And I kind of looked around a little bit. At that time, this was in 1963, and they were just still working on some of the streets back here in the back half. And I think they had no houses completed back there at that time, but they had a few going. And I talked to, what's the builder's name that built?
Huffines?
Yeah, I talked to Huffines. And show you how far things have come, he said, I tell you what, back here in the back, I've got a lot of lots. He said, I'll build you anything you want for $10 a square foot. You pick out a lot, you pick out a plant, and I'll build it for you for $10 a square foot. Now you can't build a porch for $10.
I mean, I'm gonna let y'all talk, but the only thing we're gonna ask, we're recording this because we want to try to get the history on our new website that is up, and we ask that you just talk one at a time because the recorder will only pick up one voice. And one more thing before I forget, next month the meeting will be at Sue and Kevin's house, and if you're going to be there or if you're going to go, let me or Sue know, because Gladys Vance is going to talk about the real estate, and she will print up a brochure, what houses have sold for, and etc. And she will only print those up if you're going to be there. So kind of RSVP and let us know if you want one of those. So that's all, and I'm just going to let y'all talk. This is y'all's night, and like he just did, just tell your stories. And I think, Sam, you were the very first one to move in, right?
Yeah, sir.
Sir, these 4 houses were, as I recall, were the first 4 built in 1961.
That's correct.
So,
Do you have a time limit on talking?
Well,
Let me tell
In
you,
that
Bert
case,
told
I
me
mean,
today how
It
he
really doesn't
first,
matter, everybody goes to sleep.
first saw
I
the
see.
property. I didn't even know
I
this.
suppose that lets
Tell
you
him
make it
how
invigorating.
Huffines led you down Cemetery Road.
Yeah, I was looking for a house, and I was down Wade Street there. They were building some houses down at the end of Wade, and Paul Huffines came up to me and says, "You're looking for a house?" I said, "Oh, these are too expensive for me," or something like that. And he said, "Man," he says, "come on, I got something I want to show you." So I got into his truck up there on Wade, came down, and he drove down Cemetery Road. And we got, at the end of it, we got out and we walked out into this, well, it wasn't a field, it was brush this high and limbs, you know, low trees, no big trees like we've got nowadays. And he says, I'm going to start building here, nobody knows it yet. And so that's how I got started with him, and it was something to watch that come from nothing to a beautiful house that he gave us.
Well, I was,
Excuse me, I got this.
Are you sitting on the book? Pass it around, let them look at it.
We have a book here. It's,
What's that a book of?
Of his selling thing that he used,
So it was the sales brochure that was used to sell the properties?
of the property that he had started. Our house is in there, I marked it.
I want to say to Bill Guess, the first summer we lived here, we went back to the farm. Betty's a farm girl up in northwest Kansas. And they just got through butchering, and we got a quarter of a beef. And we wondered what we were going to do with that when we got back down here. And so we went over to Grapevine to build a store. And I want to let you know something, Bill. That freezer I bought for $110, I think it was, or $115, is still working. I go out to people are frozen juices and things like that in that freezer still.
it's amazing.
The
They
same.
build them like that anymore, do they?
No, they don't. The Frigidaire. The light burned out
You're
fine.
not supposed to like that.
I was living in Fort Worth, and then I transferred to a job in Dallas, and that was a long drive. So I decided, well, we'll move to Dallas. My wife didn't like driving in Dallas, so we started looking in this area, and we went on Wade Street. He had a house was just about to be finished. And we walked in there and looked at it. Do you have any more houses on the way? He said, no, but I just bought a whole area over called Morrisdale Estate. If you all would like to look at it, I'll take you over there. He had already sketched the street and the houses where they're located. I guess he had an architect do that for him. So we went in the brushes and all the trees. You just hardly can walk into it. And we decided to select one at the top of a hill, but it wasn't that high. It was like 2-3 feet above the street, above the expected street. Well, and about we said, yeah, that looks great. We want it. So we put some earnest money with him and bought the lot. 2 months later, he called us. He said, I give you a chance to change your mind to buy another lot. We said, why? He said, well, you are now about 10 to 12 foot above the street instead of 3 foot above the street. The drainage requirement has to cut the street way down in there. So we decided to go look at it. We went in there, and sure enough, we were way up in the hill. And he said, I'll build you some walls in there. And so my wife fell in love with that area, with that, especially that lot. So we decided to stay,